Guys, let's talk about the Lord Dance of a pro team. How do you do it? There are three types of Lord Dance: Burst Lord, Slow Push, and Early Engage. Let's break them down one by one in this video. As you can see, there are the top, mid, and bottom lanes. But what usually happens is a 5 versus 5 fight when the Lord Dance begins. For example, this is blue team, and this is the opposing team. During the Lord Dance, the EXP laner moves to the bottom lane, while the jungler, mid laner, and roamer focus on pulling the Lord. The Lord is positioned here, the EXP laner is at the bottom, and the mage and roamer are in mid, constantly poking the enemy team to create pressure. The jungler is here, pulling the Lord, while the marksman is dealing damage to it. Now, when the Lord is about to die, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Right. You're probably thinking the enemy might try to burst it down. At this point, the entire enemy team, all 5 players, will move in. But as soon as they engage, the jungler will just retreat, leaving the Lord behind, which will then reset to its original position. Meanwhile, while this Lord Dance is happening, the XP laner is pushing the wave. Since the XP laner has already cleared the wave, the minions have now reached the enemy side. Right now, blue has 3 minions, while the enemy team is down to just 2. What happens when the enemy notices that blue has more minions than they do? Exactly. They'll realize their third tower is at risk of being destroyed. So what will they do? Naturally, they'll send one player to defend it. Now that one enemy player has rotated to defend, the XP laner who pushed the wave will rotate back to the Lord. What's the result? Blue now has 5 players contesting the Lord, while the enemy only has 4. Since one of them is occupied with defense, blue can engage early. What happens in a 5-4 fight? Of course, the team with 5 players has the upper hand because the enemy team is at a numbers disadvantage. This is what's called a slow push. Once the XP laner clears the bottom wave, they'll rotate back. The team will then wait for the enemy to send someone to defend, because if they don't, their tower will get pushed and eventually destroyed. The moment an enemy goes to defend, that's when blue initiates the fight. Second Lord Dance strategy. What happens during the second Lord Dance? The second one is called the Slow Push and Burst Lord. These two strategies are now combined. When the XP laner pushes the bot lane, they will return to their teammates. Meanwhile, the roam and marksman will start chipping away at the Lord while the XP laner moves toward it. Now, when all 5 teammates are gathered and the enemy has 1 defender, the XP laner, roam, and mid laner will zone out the enemy. What will the remaining 4 do? Since they're outnumbered, they'll play it safe and back off. As soon as they back away, the marksman and jungler will burst down the Lord. This is what's called Slow Push and Burst Lord. You chip away at the Lord while your XP laner moves in. Once an enemy moves to defend, that's when you burst down the Lord. You don't rush the enemy, you just push them back. What is the third type of Lord Dance? This is called the Early Engage, often used by pro teams, especially those skilled in pickoffs. So, who are these teams? Teams like Liquid, Omega, and Onyx use this strategy. Now this is the third type of Lord Dance, meaning we're about to reset. It will be a 5 versus 5 fight, and the minions at the bottom lane are balanced. 3 on the blue side, and 3 on the enemy's side. Since the minions are evenly matched, nothing significant will happen at the bottom lane. However, if the enemy sets up a slow push, things change. For example, if your team is in this situation and the enemy spots one of your teammates, they will immediately engage. Did you notice? They try to bait out the slow push strategy of the enemy. That's why when they initiate a slow push, you should engage early. And that's it. The 3 types of Lord Dance in ML. Mastering these strategies can be the game changer you need. If you want to learn more or have any questions, drop a comment below. Keep grinding, keep learning, and always push your limits. Maximize your potential and dominate the battlefield.